is called Guildy, noun, a person who has become susceptible to the influence of a greater being known as a guild. I'll explain the title in a second. First, a quick review on the last few days. After raids for the past 2 days, I've headed up to a friend's house to see him, his girlfriend, and an old friend of him he met at university. I won't go into details, but basically I drank a lot and watched a screen and/or ate meat. What's been happening in WoW? Well, the new Trial of the Champion boss fight is rather fun, so that put a smile on my face. We're considering adding 10-man instances to our regular raiding schedule, for the sake of learning tactics for the hard mode bosses on 25-man. Now, on to the title of my post. Guildies are everywhere, and quite a few of them have started making requests to be included in my blog. I'm not a fan of using names. I feel it personalises the blog too much and makes it less accessible to outsiders, so be warned, this entry will be personal. Read on at your peril. Ooh, ah, and other scary ghost noises. I'll start with Chedra, since I believe he asked first, though he technically got a mention in my previous post, as it was him who had his account hacked. Most commonly used phrase: "Oh, you fucker." As far as I'm aware, this is not an insult, more an adapted technique of saying, "Oh golly gosh," in a far less offensive manner. Other phrases include, "Wait the now," and "Shut the fuck up." Wait the now could possibly mean two things: wait there, now, or alternatively, wait the now. I'm currently doing extensive research into which of these is the case, and I'll get back to you once I have the answer. "Shut the fuck up" is generally in a string of "shut the fuck ups" and should not be associated with "oh you fucker." "Shut the fuck up" is in fact an insult, the two fucks being easily distinguishable from one another by lack or presence of capital letters. As I've said before, Chedra is a raid leader, which basically boils down to him being strapped into a chair for 10 hours a day, with tape holding his eyes open and 32 cigarettes being lovingly force-fed to him throughout the night. Other duties include killing all and every alliance upon sight, and stealing cheese. Chedra plays a warlock, and is quite proud of that fact. He takes pride in the excruciating pain he can inflict upon bosses, and I believe if he could do something similar, like shooting odd waves of fire out of his fingertips in real life, he probably would, and would probably take just as much pride in it. Mortalis is a tank death knight, which technically speaking should make him what is commonly referred to as a twat. However, Mortalis has managed to overcome this label thus far by doing two things. Number one, knowing how to play. Many death knights RPF, rape people's faces, which leads them to believe they are good at RPF, and that this directly translates to them being a highly skillful player. This is of course a flawed preconception. Using myself as an example, I have never done any real RPF, nor do I plan to. However, I believe I am considered a fairly skilled player. Mortalis manages to sustain a moderate level of RPF and still enjoy PvE to a very high standard. Number two, he is semi-technically Welsh. Although this is often a reason for us to take the piss, it is also the reason he is nice. The Welsh were born and bred on the idea that all outsiders were bastards. Mortalis seems to be in a constant state of surprise at finding out that in fact we are not all bastards and can be quite nice when we want to be. So much so that a few of us have met him on occasion and had a rather enjoyable time. Dept is a priest. This is a problem. Similar to alcoholism, many experts on the subject actually believe that alcoholism and being a priest are in fact the same problem, though there is yet to be a consensus among the wider global scientific community. Last night we shared a conversation about metaphysics, which basically means we thought about thinking, which led us to think about whether we are thinking, which led us to think about whether we were thinking about each other, which led us to highly erotic sex, or perhaps it was the sex that led us to metaphysics. Nobody is quite sure whether it's alcoholism that leads to sex and being a priest that leads to metaphysics, or the other way around, or whether alcoholism and being a priest led to the sex and metaphysics is just a side effect of a good shag. One of the benefits of being a priest, though, are that we're pretty close. Depp took a recent holiday for about a month, and I do not think there was a day that went by without one of the other priests making a comment in priest chat about how much we missed him. He is just one of those guys, nice to spend time with and talk to. Domeric is quite fat. I'll clear it up here and now that he is in fact really skinny. He is fat because A, I love irony, and B, he eats on an hourly basis. This does not seem to affect his weight, however. I sometimes wonder if he is just in fact shoving the food down his trousers and pretending he's eating it just to spite me. I have a picture of Domeric, well, several in fact, the most notable of which contains his nipple. This is the sort of person Domeric is. He will send you his nipple because he knows that you will spend the next half hour laughing at the thought of someone sending you a picture of their nipple. He likes haggis, which is natural given his country of origin, I suppose, but I generally respect people who eat haggis, because most people I meet get put off when I tell them what it is. Haggis eaters look past what is actually in the haggis and concentrate on how damn good it is, which is why I think they may turn to gay loving at some point during their lives. We'll see. Domeric's a rogue, though he may re-roll a hunter. I believe the theme in his choice of classes is not dying. He enjoys hitting stuff, with pretty much anything. Daggers, swords, arrows, bullets. It's just that he doesn't enjoy running back when whatever he was hitting wasn't hit hard enough. Lyset is quite like a puppy. Instead of dog food, however, he lives on cookies, and would do just about anything for them. He gets stroked a lot, verbally I mean, because he is verbally cute and fluffy. He occasionally insults people in a joking fashion, and when he does, it's similar to the sensation of having the puppy tugging on your sock to come outside and play in the sunshine. I love dogs, and this means Lyset should probably be slightly afraid of me. Should we ever meet, I may smother him with hugs and kisses, yet somehow I do not think this would put him off. He may even smother back. Lyset is a tank, which kind of dispels the pretense of being cute and fluffy, except he's a female undead warrior. He stands next to the other tanks and looks a bit dwarfed by them in their giant bulky shoulders. I always see him as one of the caster group, to be honest with you. But a caster with twice as much health, a shield strapped to his arm, and a very handy taunt button. Well, I think that was everyone who asked me to write about them. Give me a poke if I missed you. Please. Much love.